Hello everybody, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. On today's video, I'm going to show you the Cuban Comet Mini Minosa. In addition, I'm going to show you a Minnie Mouse card. And after that, we're going to show you a Minnesota Twins team card. And lastly, we're going to talk about the 1975 Topps Mini. I'm Orlando of A Collector's Dream. Thanks for joining me. And coming up, the Commenting Collector.
I'm actually Robert Sagady, also known as a commenting collector. Obviously not Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Sorry to disappoint, but Pepino Man from Four Collectors wanted us to impersonate another content creator for a chance to win his famous Shine Box. So I chose my favorite channel in the sports hobby and hands down the best person in the sports hobby. So I hope my impersonation was taken in the spirit it was attended. A tribute to Orlando and his channel, A Collector's Dream, who I'd be hard pressed to come up with any other person that has influenced positively more viewers and creators. For me, his subscription to my channel immediately after my first video actually encouraged me and gave me confidence to move forward with my channel. Not to mention introducing me to the exceptional content on his channel and the introduction to him as a world-class human being. I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, so please feel free to put your fond experiences with Orlando down in the comments. Okay, I hope everyone had a great week. In fact, I received my PSA submission, so I'm going to reveal those in a couple minutes, and I'm chomping at the bit to see what the grades are because I've restrained myself from actually peeking and seeing what the grades were because I just think it's fun to experience the reveal together. And I also have another VR to show you when I flip the camera, and this time it's from Old Sarge Collects. He wants us to show a card that you purchased because, or a card that you have in your collection that makes you think of another channel. And so we'll take a look at that in a moment. First, I just want to say we have some residual entries still sprinkling in from my Show Me Your Favorite Non-Sports Card video challenge. And I got one from none other than Dylan from Double D Vintage. And it's, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out on Dylan Double D Vintage's channel. It's classic. Of course, it's high energy, and it's some cool non-sports cards. So appreciate the submission, Dylan. I know you're a busy man, so you didn't get it before the contest deadline for the chance to win the packs, but that's okay. Just cool to see some of those non-sports cards in your collection. Thanks for taking the time to do that. And I would encourage everyone who hasn't seen it, and I'm sure most of you are, subscribed to Dylan, but if not, subscribe to Dylan Double D Vintage. You will not be disappointed. I know that for sure. And I do have a couple new subscribers. Real quickly, just want to give a quick shout out. And that first one is Brian LCS. He's been collecting comic books since the 1980s. His YouTube channel, he shares Monday mail call days, which is cool. Comic book reviews, the comic book community 411, and a weekly live show Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, called Breakfast with Brian. He's the creator of the Comic Book Community Awards, believe it or not, a yearly award show to celebrate the YouTube comic book community. And he's a big Spider-Man fan, but aren't we all? So thanks to Brian LCS. Check his channel out. Just two more. Retro Television 1. He has cool retro television content on his channel. And who doesn't love cool retro television content? So check out his channel. And last but not least, Angry Old Man. And I watched his video. He is kind of feisty, but I think his bark is bigger than his bite. It's a great channel. Good sense of humor, too. He shows TTMs, autographs, as well as history. And like I said, he'll give you the occasional rant. So check all those out. I'm feeling a little Canadian today. My poor Twins, they did beat the Toronto Blue Jays, but I'm actually also a Blue Jay fan. I'm just mainly a baseball fan. So even though the Twins got eliminated just by, it's just, they gave it a good, they had a great run, gave it a great effort, but sometimes you just run into teams that are just better than you. And man, Houston is the complete package. So be interesting to see if anyone can knock them off. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of the playoffs regardless. And I was just feeling a little Canadian. I've got a lot of great Canadian subscribers. So you know who you are. Just a shout out. Hockey's in full swing. So it's all good. And check out all the other subscribers and appreciate all the viewers. So I'm going to switch the camera around and we're going to kind of take a look at the rest of the goodies. Before the PSA reveal, here's a VR by Old Sarge Collects, wanting us to show a card that was inspired by another channel. In this case, it was John Kaufman, aka 3D80s Kid, has shown cards with his namesake, John Kaufman, which are really cool. So, John inspired me to purchase a card of a player who I unbelievably, sans the extra letter at the end, share the first and last name. No small feat when your last name is Segedi. So here it is. Robert, and I think he pronounces it Segedin. And we pronounce it a little differently, but take off the N, and we share the exact same name. Which like I said, is incredible considering pre-internet, other than relatives, I didn't know any Segedis existed. Now, thanks to the internet, I have found a few, and they live primarily in Croatia. So, Segedin, and I got this, of course, it wasn't too expensive. I got this off of eBay, and of course I had to splurge and get the autograph edition. And it's a Topps 2019. They show his minor league record. Let's see that. He was actually drafted by the New York Yankees in the 3rd round of the 2010 MLB draft, which is pretty good. Go me. After the 2015 season, the Yankees traded Segedin and a player to be named later, or cash, to the Los Angeles Dodgers for, I shouldn't say or cash, and cash, to the Los Angeles Dodgers for Tyler Olson and Ronald Torreyes. I think Torreyes played for the Twins for a little bit too. Segedin played for Team Italy in the 2017 World Baseball Classic, which is interesting because I'm not Italian, but maybe because our last name sounds like spaghetti, spaghetti. I really never heard of the end of that in elementary school. And then actually even in college, people were calling me Spaghetti Man. So, which is all good. It's all fun. But anyway, Seguin was designated for assignment by the Dodgers on August 30th, 2018. After missing most of the minor league season due to injuries, he retired from baseball because of chronic arthritis at the conclusion of the season. Actually, I can relate to that because I had arthritis in my hip before I had a hip replacement a few years ago. So his 226 career average, 2 home runs, and 13 RBIs playing first, third, and the outfield. Of course, being a Seguin, I'm sure he had a great glove. So that's my VR response to Old Sarge Collects. Great channel. He participated in my VR, Show Me Your Non-Sports Card. And so check Old Sarge Collects out. I appreciate the opportunity. And thanks to John Kaufman, aka 3D80s Kid, and also For Collectors channel for inspiring me to find a card that had my name, or in my case, such an unusual name. It's actually amazing that I found one that was only a letter off. So I'll always cherish this card. And now, without further ado, the main event, we're going to do my latest and greatest PSA reveal. And we're going to start it out with a banger. None other than the killer, Mr. Harmon Killebrew. And I've covered up the grade. I actually got a PSA DNA certification. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to send it in anyway. And just a little backstory behind this card. I was at a Twins Fest, and I should back up a little. I actually bought this card probably when I was 14 years old through mail order. It was in one of the, I don't know if it was a Beckett or some hobby magazine, or it might have even been like Sporting News. Some channel had, or some periodical had a advertisement for the ability to purchase baseball cards. And being a Twins fan, I just thought it was so cool that you could get actually a Harmon Killebrew when he played for the Senators. But so I had the card. Then I went to Twins Fest, and Harmon was one of the signers. So I paid the whatever it was back in the day. This is probably, I don't know, probably the early 2000s. Or the next story I'm going to tell you probably dates this, when this happened, because relic cards had just started to become a thing. And so I'm waiting in line, and the person in front of me has a Harmon Killebrew relic card with a piece of Harmon's jersey in the card. So I remember distinctly listening to the conversation as the gentleman presented Harmon with the Killebrew relic card to be signed. Harmon looked at it, then he showed his assistant or his handler or whatever and says, "Look at this, they got my jersey in here. And it's ripped up. That's a shame." I'm not trying to do a Harmon impersonation, but Harmon was just bewildered by the fact that someone had cut up his jersey, and it was just, I don't know, it must have been new to Harmon that was even a thing. So I just thought that was interesting. But anyway, if you look, it's that beautiful Killebrew signature. It's his trademark. I know after he retired, he would actually, in the clubhouse, I guess he would talk to the Twins players and say, you know, you should take some pride in your signature, because you're doing this for the fans and they deserve a nice signature. So anyway, I wrote ahead of time what I thought my grade would be, and to be honest, I've actually made it worse every time I see another reveal video on YouTube, because geez Louise, the standards are so high. I mean, I see some just great cards and then they're getting, you know, 4s, which is a good grade, I guess, but some of these cards you just think, why aren't they 7s or 8s and they're getting 4s? So this has got a little rounded corner, some kind of little crease there. So it's probably, I mean, it is centered pretty good. I'd say it's probably and here's that corner with that junk going on, but it's actually a pretty clean card. You know, I've had it in my possession for, you know, probably 35, 40 years. So and I try to take good care of it, but and I got it through some advertisement in a magazine, and I don't know, I think I paid like, probably because it was just my allowance money, maybe $10-15, probably not much more than that. And I probably just put cash in the envelope and sent it to the person. That's, you know, how naive as a kid. You know, I didn't have credit cards back then or anything. I don't think I had a checking account, so I just probably sent cash. So it's just been with me. Big Twins fan, big Killebrew fan. So anyway, I'm gonna say probably a 2 is it. If it can get a 3 or higher, I guess I'll be happy. So here we go. Oh, by the way, this was an idea by Wahoo Comics, because he was putting painter tape over his graded comic book slab reveals. So I thought that's a good idea. And I get a 1.5 FR. I'm not even sure what FR means, so I'm sure I'll find out after I'm done with this video. Or please shoot in the let me know in the comments what FR means. I got a 9 of the auto. Okay, maybe because you know, I probably don't know if I, you know, brought this marker, or it's kind of a thick marker. Maybe that's what knocked it down. But usually Harmon Killebrew you think are 10s, but I guess a 9 is pretty good. So that's kind of the mystery. FR 1.5. I hope it's not something totally bad. I did get the PSA DNA certification, so I think it's real. I know it's real. I was there when Harmon signed it. But anyway, so that's the first card, and put that right there. And I know I'm rambling, so this video might take a while, but that's okay. It's been years in the waiting for me to get these, so I'm gonna do a slow reveal, I guess. And the next one, it's my 1960 Hank Aaron. And memory serves me correctly, I was probably about 14 years old. So it's probably been the early 80s. I was at a card show at a local high school in Hopkins, Minnetonka, Minnesota area. And I got this Hank Aaron because I'd never had a card that was even near this significant as far as like a Hall of Famer. You know, I was collecting. Okay, I had to stop the video for a second. My storage was full. You know, I guess when you have an iPhone 6, you got to make do with what you have. So I offloaded some storage, and we'll see how far I can get this time. But anyhow, I did have an opportunity to look up FR for PSA, and I kind of feel silly. It's fair, and I'm sure 99.9% of you watching were like screaming, "It's fair, you idiot, it's fair." So yeah, that's just because I guess it's in a little rougher condition, but at least it's still got a grade of 1.5. So anyway, back to Hank Aaron. Like I said, I bought this at a mail order. No, actually, I bought the Aaron at a show, and so I didn't have a lot of money back as a kid. So this was something that, grades I didn't really think of grades as much when I was a kid before the whole, grading phenomenon took off. I would actually just buy the card for what it was and for how much it costs. In other words, if a card was, X amount of dollars in a 4, but they also offered it in a 5, but the 4 was like $1 cheaper, I would have probably bought the 4. So I had the card, and it was all what it would cost me. So anyway, I am thinking this card that I've had in my collection for 35, 40 years, I would probably, especially after seeing the 1.5 that I got with the Killebrew. Oops, I'm bumping the camera here. I would say probably if I can get a 1.5, I'll be happy. I originally was thinking 1 or 2, so we'll go with 1.5. I'll be happy. It might even be a 1. Might even. Oh, you know what? I haven't shown you the back yet. It probably is a 1 because it's got this like roller mark or something on it. It looks like a roller mark or something. That's how it was when I bought it. So it's always had that. So if I get a 1.5, I'll be ecstatic. Probably is, or not ecstatic, because I don't really care if it's a 1. I'm not selling these anyway, but I'll be surprised. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it's 1.5. Realistically, probably be a 1. So let's see what it gets. Classic card though, 1960 Hank Aaron. Still one of my best cards in my collection, that's for sure. See, my wife taped this so I wouldn't have a chance to see it. She did a great job. Okay, here we go. What do we get? Oh, a 2. Okay. It's good. That's good. A good 2. So even with that black mark on the back, if you can see it, it's like that roller mark right there. Gets a 2. So yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll take that. Okay, maybe why that Killebrew got a 1.5 kind of is weird, but it is what it is. Okay, and actually I have 4 more cards left. Next one was another card that I've had. I actually bought this at the store and ripped open the pack back in '78. I was 11 years old at the time, and it's, not the greatest shape. I probably played with it because they had this game on the back. So, I would create a lineup and play this game, and probably got a little bit worn, but all in all, it's in pretty good shape. Just cool that I have had this from the time I bought it at the drugstore when I was 11 years old. So I had thought I would get a 5 I was hoping for, but it's realistically it'd probably be a 4, and could be less, but it's looking like a 4 from the other reveals I watch on YouTube. So Ryan Express, see what we get. Oh, excellent 5. So that exceeded my expectations, or met my expectations, but I didn't think it would get a 5. I thought I was being a little a little generous. So thank you, PSA, for that one. Nice 5. Okay. And thanks for indulging me for, I'm slow rolling this just because I've been just waiting for so long, and it's just a big deal. And Next card, Mr. Tom Seaver. And I know I got several subscribers who are Mets fans. I know obviously Mookie Chilson is one. So this story behind this card is I was probably 14 years old, 15. Obviously, there's a trend there. That's kind of when I first really got into baseball cards. And I was at a flea market with my parents. And we're talking probably late 70s. So to see a card like this was just, it just made me so excited. I had a chance to buy it, and it was probably like $6-7 at this flea market. So I bought it, and it promptly became one of my best cards because I love that rookie all-star trophy, all-star rookie trophy, and 1967 trophy. Actually, obviously it's a 68 card. And prior to this, I probably had a 1978 Seaver, was probably my best from the times that I was collecting the 78 set at the store. So we'll see what this is. I think I was hoping for a 5, kind of how my Nolan Ryan got, but I don't think it's in good of a condition. So probably a 3. And if I get a 4, I'll be happy. Just love this card. Love this card. And here's the reveal. Okay. And it gets a very good 3. That's kind of what I was expecting. So good, as I knock the camera again. All right. Try to create room. And the next one. I'm all out of those little stands. Actually, let me borrow my namesake stand there. And we got a big one. Mickey Mantle. I bought this at a card show, and I think it was at the high school, probably when I was 14, 15 years old. It was probably the same card show that I bought the Hank Aaron. So that was quite a day to get a Hank Aaron and a Mickey Mantle. 58 All-Star. It's, again, was bought on a teenager's budget, so the condition isn't great. It's off-center, left to right. Or is it right to left? I never can remember how they characterize those. And the back, it looks like it's really miscut. So this could get a OC, is it off-center? Or an MC, miscut. Can't remember the terminology they use. But, it's a clean card. It's my second Mickey Mantle. I do have one, the 1968 game card Mantle that I showed in my lunchbox video. And I was thinking I would get I was hoping for a 3. There's probably no way in heck it's going to get a 3. If I get a 2, I'll probably be lucky. I'm just hoping at this point I get a 1, because it could be authentic with that cut the way it is. So, but it doesn't really matter. This card I've had 35, 40 years. It's not going anywhere, except maybe my kids or whatever. But yeah, it's great. So here it is. 58 All-Star Mickey Mantle. Oh. Oh, I wasn't trying to play possum. I get a 4. Man, I love that. That's almost collector grade. Mike Moynihan says if you have a card from the 40s and gets a 4, a card from the 50s it gets a 5, card from the 60s 6, and so on. That's collector's grade. So, man, with that back like that, that's way. Maybe that's what they all look like. I should have seen some others for comparison, but there's no border on that thing, and I got a 4. Lovely. Take that. I'll take that every day of the week. And then you're blocking out some cards, but that's okay. Got one more card. Appreciate everyone sticking with me. This is a big day for me to get these returns back. It's been a lot of years and waiting to see what they would be graded. So, and the last one, shout out kind of to my hockey fans out there. It's a great one, Wayne Gretzky. This I've had since, well, 81 when I went to the store, bought the pack, opened it. The funny thing is, you know, I'm a big hockey fan. I never had a ton of hockey cards, and I just had maybe 5-10 packs that I bought in 81, and one of them happened to be a Wayne Gretzky, so I just got lucky with that. But this, of all the cards I've shown today, is by far in the best condition. I mean, it's not going to be a 10, it's not even going to be a 9, but I'm hoping for a 7. Probably be a 6, because there's always something that they find that you don't see, and with a card that you've had in your possession for 42 years, you know, there's got to be something wrong with it. But, you know, I'll take a 6. I'll even take a 5. But the corners are very sharp, and it's the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Best hockey player of all time. You can argue Gordie Howe was, Bobby Orr, but in my book, it's Mr. Gretzky. I saw him play live once at the Met Center, had standing room only, and I don't care. It was just a treat being in the building, seeing him in his prime. So, without further ado, the last card, and I appreciate everyone watching this video. A couple of VRs. Subscribe to Old Sarge Collects. So subscribe to all the channels that I mentioned today. And if you'd be so kind and you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate that also. So here we go. I was saying 7, and it is 6. Right on the numbers there, 6. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Really clean card. Couldn't imagine what it takes to get an 8 or 9. It's almost impossible unless you take it right out of the pack and put it in plastic, apparently. So, once again, thanks for watching. Sorry about the length of the video, but I put a video out once a week. It's all good. Pepino Man, for collectors. Appreciate the opportunity to do the VR impersonation of the best collector person in the hobby, Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Thanks a lot. See you next week. And as always, good collecting.